It is 1 o'clock. It is Monday, the 21st of September. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM, and that means it's time for gaming news. What is going on in the world of role playing for the week of September 21st that does not have to do with Wizards of the Coast? Because if we just focus on that, then, oh yeah, blah, blah. Rime of the Frost Maiden comes out, and Tasha's uncontrollable book of stuff that we don't really need is being come out. And 90% of the gaming news that I can find is, oh, look, Tasha's is coming out. And, oh, look, Rime of the Frost Maiden is coming out. And, oh, look, there's a Wizards of the Coast sponsored 3-day thing that's going to happen to push Rime of the Frost Maiden and Tasha's uncontrollable book of gibbering splat. And it's open to the public, except, of course, as we already know, because we tried, if you actually go to the website to apply for the open to the public 3-day gaming thing, all the spots have been filled by YouTubers, many of them cute female YouTubers. Yeah. Yeah. So what's going on in the world of gaming that doesn't have to do with Wizards of the Coast and 5e and Tasha's and Rime? Because yes, Rime is out. Yes, Tasha's is coming out. Yes, if that is your thing, if you want more splat for your buck, fine. Go ahead. I don't, and it's news, and I should be impartial, but we know I'm not, and I think both Rime of the Frost Maiden and Tasha's Book of Uncontrollable Stupidity are not what I want, and not what most of the product buying public wants. But I'm probably wrong, and I'm probably going to have to deal with people trying to force that Tasha stuff on me as players, and then I'm going to have to say, no, I'm not allowing that, and they're going to go, fuck you, Matt Mercer lets me have it, and then leave my game. So yeah, fuck you, Wizards of the Coast. Let's talk about something that doesn't have to do with Wizards of the Coast, and that is, of course, the Dungeon Crawl RPG board game HeroQuest is returning, as Hasbro, through their Avalon Hill imprint, posted a new website with a countdown timer showing that it's HeroQuest, maybe. But it's, because the rights for HeroQuest and Gloranthia and Chaosium and HeroQuest Legacies and Restoration games are all gobbledygook. But right now, it does not look like anybody has the license to it. So Hasbro is putting out HeroQuest, we think. And HeroQuest is possibly one of the greatest unsung heroes of our hobby. Because for a lot of people at the time when it came out, it was the introductory drug to D&D. It has the great maps, the great figures, the great ideas. A lot of it, yes, was maybe taken from other places and blah, 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 blah. And there's some stuff about it because Gloranthia and RuneQuest and blah, 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 blah. But if you just look at the product on its own, it's got these great figures, great maps, great campaigns, great ideas. It was one of the very first role-playing board games where you had a character who was your figure in the board game, because it's like Monopoly. It's a board game, and you have to go through these scenarios, deal with the things in your way in the scenario, and get to the end of the scenario, at which point your character would get more stuff, and then you would go through the next harder scenario, and so forth and so on, and there was expansion with more figures and more scenarios. So it's a great gateway between Monopoly, Catan, Carcassonne, the game of life, mousetrap style of board gaming, and the actual role-playing that most of us are familiar with, because you did have an actual character who could improve. And then when the game was over after an hour or two, you just put everything back in the box, and there you go. Plus figures! So, yeah. HeroQuest, 99% chance it's coming out from Hasbro. John Kovlix is doing a charity ride. He does this every year. John is the creator of the Dork Tower Munchkin and Apples stuff. He rides around to collect money for charities and to deliver for the Fair Share Coalition that delivers food to local farms and families in Wisconsin. So, yes, go out there and support John. He's riding around on his bike to earn money. He's got a duck on his head, and this is the guy who created Munchkin. So, yeah, we love them. And, yeah, Okay, so Pazio is announcing a book for the Mwangi Expanse and a new adventure path set in the Mwangi Expanse. We have the playtest coming up for Level Up 5e, which is another attempt to take the 5e rules and make them more open and more, more like what Pazio did with Pathfinder. Now we talk a lot about comparing where Wizards of the Coast is going with D&D and where other companies are trying to make D&D, and what Pazio did was second edition of Pathfinder. And a lot of the things people are saying about, well, I want to see ascendancies and I want to see more variability of life paths and I want my elf to be able to have dwarven stats and stuff like that. Pazio already did it in Pathfinder 2nd edition, and they did it in Starfinder. So really, are these all original ideas, or is Pazio are they just copying Pazio? And even, and Pazio gets those ideas from games like Shadowrun, Interlock, Cyberpunk, Ravenstar, a lot of games that came out in the late 80s, early 90s that explored the idea of ascendancies and life paths and the idea that not every elf is the same and not every rim runner is the same. So it's interesting to see where the playtest of Level Up 5e is going to go. And other than that, it's, look, here's a bunch of stuff coming out for Rime of the Frost Maiden and Tasha's book of Uncontrollable. I don't care. Let's see. There is a Cypher system-based role-playing game called We Are All Mad Here, which is a Alice in Wonderland game that's coming out from Monty Cook. Yay, Monty Cook, the guy who starts things and never finishes them. And that's about it. Everything else in the gaming news is pretty much related to Wizards of the Coast. So what's going on Humble Bumble this month? Yeah, that's right. I still call it Humble Bumble. I'm always going to call it Humble Bumble. So this month, Humble Bumble is doing an old school revival bundle. Bundle features free PDFs from games like Castles and Crusades, Swords and Wizardries, more, including role books, source books, settings, and adventures maps. $1 gets you 14 titles. It includes a lot of stuff from Necromancer Games. And the charity for this month seems to be Literacy. So that's always a good one. So there we go. That is what's everything that's going on in the gaming world. Now, once again, yes, Rime of the Frost Maiden came out on Friday, both the original and deluxe edition. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen any reviews of it yet. Icewind Dale, so I'm assuming Drizzt shows up. The only thing that I'm interested in is them resolving this storyline about the black monoliths. Because if you've been following Wizards of the Coast products since 5e, every product that has come out has either hinted at or blatantly shown these black monoliths. But they haven't explained what they are. So supposedly the big thing about Rime of the Frost Maiden, besides everything else, of introducing Icewind Dale and showing us what everybody from the Icewind Dale books have been up to and stuff like that, is supposedly we are finally getting some sense of what these black monoliths mean. And is it something good, something bad? Is it going to open us up to possibly seeing Spelljammer or Planescape again as the next product line for 2021 summer? I hope so, but probably not. Or are they going to use these black monoliths as the way to introduce Sixth? Because as we know, Wizards of the Coast has a habit of using a major disaster in the Forgotten Realms to explain resets, like from 4th to 5th, 5th to, 3rd to 4th. We had the Apocalypse Stone. We had the, Avatar trilogy. Wizards of the Coast always uses some type of apocalypse to explain why, well, suddenly you can do things you couldn't do before, Jim Dark Magic, because now you're, a 5e wizard. And 5e wizards are different than 4e wizards because there was a spell plague. Yeah. So is that what's going to happen? So that's the gaming news. And as usual, there's not much gaming news because of fires and COVID. So stay safe, and I'll talk to you later.